Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome to my brand new YouTube series. This series we are going to be talking about how to GM. But before we get into that, first off, the question is, how do I GM? Well, it's very simple. You just do. One of the best ways to become a GM is to pick up your favourite book, whether it's a free indie TTRPG like Pokemon Tabletop United, or one of the bigger brands such as Paizo's Pathfinder 2nd Edition or Wizards of the Coast Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. Whatever game you choose to play, pick it up and read the basic GM guide to that book. Now that will just give you a very, very quick way to start. When I say just do, that is literally it. If you delve or dive further into the books, absolutely brilliant. You know, you're going to pick up different bits and pieces from different systems and different books. But ultimately, the way you become a good GM is to develop your own style. A lot of people aspire to be people like Matt Mercer from Critical Role. And even Matt Mercer himself has said the best GM you can be is to develop your own style, your own way of storytelling. Whether that is you create dungeon dives for your party and you make that your thing. You make, your dungeons epic, fill them up with monsters, traps, puzzles, etc. and just keep going from there. The other side of it is obviously the role-playing aspect. You might not feel comfortable or overly comfortable with doing a lot of roleplay, and that's absolutely fine. On the other hand, you might not feel comfortable with building big dungeons and big monsters. Again, absolutely fine. You could have an entire campaign based solely on the roleplay aspect of the game if that's what you and your players desire. The things you're going to need to be a games master is very, very simple. A system that you want to play, some dice, a pencil and a piece of paper, and that's it. You need nothing else to play as a games master in any system. Now, there are many tools out there that you might like to have. You could have dice rolling apps. You could go ahead and use online resources for things such as character creation, or find automated character sheets to assist with building characters and NPCs. Some of my favourite tools, as I am majority an online GM, are things like Foundry and Fantasy Grounds Unity. These are online virtual tabletops, and they do a lot of the heavy lifting for you as a general rule. They will automate rolls, tell you whether or not they hit or they miss. They'll apply damage automatically. You can get some cool lighting effects, some cool scenes, but this is all additional and is absolutely by no means necessary. And again, going through the online vein, do you want to play online or do you want to play in person? Again, this depends on whether you have a big group of friends that are really wanting to get started running games. Or, if you don't have that big circle of friends and you want to play online, again, there are many, many Discord servers and, online websites devoted to bringing groups together, to bringing people together to play tabletop role-playing games, and it's just about finding the right one for your style. Me, I prefer high fantasy, high octane gaming, so that's why I choose to run Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder 2nd Edition, because they fit the vein of the stories that I like to tell. That's not to say I haven't tried running other systems such as Shadowrun, which is a cyberpunk universe set in the future with fantasy elements. You've also got, as I mentioned earlier, Pokemon Tabletop United, which is based around the Pokemon world. You can send your players out and catch Pokemon, and there's so much to that system that you can do. It is admittedly a much more complicated system than some of the more popular ones. It's very, very involved in mathematics and working different things out. And again, there are online resources to help manage all of the heavy lifting. So thank you very much for watching this very brief introduction on how to GM. On the next episode, I will be going more in depth into things such as styles. I'll also be exploring, software you can use for map making and that sort of things. But until then, pick up a book, read the GM guide, get some players together, whether that's online or in person, pick up some dice, get some pens and paper, and start writing those adventures. You don't even have to write the adventures yourself, because a lot of companies produce them for you. So you can even get started with a pre-written adventure if you so choose. And don't forget, guys, if you want more tips from a professional game master such as myself, you can come join the Discord and join in the discussion there. Alternatively, you can join one of my games. The links are down below. But remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Leave comments down below of things that you would like answered or tips that you would like to see in the future. Until next time, may all your 20s be natural. Thanks for watching.